Thank you all for tuning in for our second episode of Everyday Sneakerhead. I'm your host, Johnny Jays. As you can see, we're doing something a little bit different today. We would have somebody here to interview, like I said, up and coming sneakerheads and also entrepreneurs. But today we decided to do my personal collection so you can understand how I became such a sneakerhead. Just talking about these sneakers, I think I could basically give you my background and life stories just in some of the encounters and things that I went through to obtain some of the shoes and where my love, and I could really dive into where my love came for these shoes. Yeah, just to dive into my love for Jordan 1s. This is probably the shoe that I have the most of. Not my favorite silhouette, but I am a big fan. Just for the comfort, for also the look. Everybody loves that rugged look that they get once you done wore them for a while. Like this David Letterman pair, I done wore this shoe in good. This is one of my favorite, like that color scheme they came up with on that one. I could go old school and come with the Tribe Called Quest High One with the strap on it for you. I could also, I don't know if a lot of people seen this shoe or even rock with it. It sat when it first came out. I got this from the Nike outlet in Chicago, Foamposite Jordan 1. Going in more on these Jordan 1s, I wanted to point this out, man. I pulled these out to do my video. Jordan brand, I don't know if they got this fixed yet. I know all the sneakerheads know about that. If you collect like I collect, you get that glitter. You got to take a hot, wet towel. Take a hot, wet towel to your shoe and you can get it off. But I'm looking at these and I ain't worn them about 6 months. This shoe, if you could see the glitter effect, I don't know if it's some kind of chemical or what they put on it. I mean, it is all over the shoe. All over the shoe. I haven't looked at it and ain't wiped them down in a while, but this is something that will not go away. It's just crazy how this happens, and people still on StockX going crazy over these same Jordan 1s. If these was dead stock, we get a pretty penny for these, as well as some of these other ones. But I cop and rock. I wear my shoes. I do have a lot of shoes, but I do wear them. This one, also one of my favorites, the black. It just reminds me how the Jordans 1s didn't really take off that in popularity to about 2007, 2008. A lot of people wasn't really wearing them like that, and all you OG sneakerheads know what I'm talking about. Y'all seriously wasn't rocking Jordan 1s like that and when they first dropped, because honestly, and I was one of them, a lot of people said that's a high Air Force One. That's a dunk. Come on, man, that shoe ain't. But when we all aged a little bit and seen how fresh they was with khakis, clean clothes, everybody began to love this shoe. And this is the one that I remember the most, with it being black and gray, because I had this one when I finally started rocking them. Probably one of my first ones that I actually purchased. We was going crazy for this shoe when they did the pack. When they did the pack and they gave you the Boston Celtics floor with the Mike scoring when he did Bird with the in and out, and they gave you the hardwood floor on the box, we was going crazy for this one. Crazy. This was one of the dopest packs, even though the quality wasn't that great. Even though the quality wasn't that great at that time, we still love this shoe. And it came with the Jumpman on the back. As you can see, these ain't got no glitter on it. Guaranteed these ain't got no glitter. This was one of my favorite joints. This one, everybody really jumped on the ones and got back into them. You know, still had to keep that one on deck. But I don't know why I ain't really wore this one in a while. I was just thinking about it. It's still dirty. It's been worn. Believe me, it's been worn. So when they flipped it and put the green on it, any Jordan head that's an OG Jordan head, our number one gripe in the 90s was, man, I wish they could make that Jordan in this color. Why don't they put it in this color? And now that they doing it, some of us acting like we salty and tired of all these colors, we all want to perk. I'm OG. I only buy OGs. But all through the 90s, everybody that's around my age group was griping and complaining. Believe me when I tell you. But this one was real nice. The Boston Celtics look with that black and green, you couldn't beat that, man. I was happy to see them do this pack. That was a tribute. Everybody remembers that move. What was it, 69 in the Garden? Everybody remembers that. For them to throw that label on there was a real good move. That was nice, Jordan brand. To get into my Jordan 2 collection, I know I kind of got to get on this shoe. I got to say something crazy about this shoe. Everybody's not a big fan of it, so they don't make a lot of them. Jordan 2s, I'm a fan of it. I might not go crazy for them, but when they bring one out and it's a nice colorway and I like it, I'll mess with it. A lot of people jumped on that purple when they did a few years back. That one to me was horrible. They did another funny color. I can't really remember it, but they did some funny colors and I didn't really jump on them because I'm that guy that buys what he likes. I got 2 Jordan 2s in my collection. This is probably 131 shoes, I believe, and I only got 2 of this model. This was one of my favorite ones, the way they did, they call it the Wing It 2. One of the shoes on the back says It, the other one says Wing It on the back of them. This colorway with that black and the gray, you couldn't beat that. They put a little pattern on there and make it a little snakeskin looking. You couldn't beat that pattern. And you know they always they put the Nike on the bottom, so everybody want to see that Nike. But with the gray tongue and also the black accents in the tongue was one of the cleanest shoes they did. So I had to have this one. For my second Jordan 2, this is a shoe that collected, like my boy T Ward said, that dust tan shouted. This one sat on the shelves for months and months on end. I had to cop it. It just sat so long that I just had to get my hands on it. The black and red too. Was a real slick shoe. Wasn't too much to it. A lot of people wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it at first. But as it sat and that price dropped, why not put it in the collection? The easy color to match with anything. Everything I own is black, red, and white anyway, almost, if you a Jordan head like me. So why not put it with it? To go into some of my 3s, I want to show y'all a few pair. I think I might have 8, maybe 7 or 8 3s. You know you can't go wrong with none of the 3s. Like I said, Jordan heads, black and red. You know how we do all day. I had to admit, my wife always mentioned that I don't wear nothing but black and red for the most part. Even the logo of Everyday Sneakerheadz, black and red. That red just popped to me. There's no gang thing. It's just being a Chicago Bulls fan. Growing up in Chicago, black and red was what we wore. You know, everybody had the Jordans. Everybody had on black and red pretty much. Just to show you all a few of my Jordan 3s before we move on to the 4s. It's going to be an easy transition into the 4s. Thinking about taking a road trip. Y'all get y'all permission slips slide. I might let you go. But let's get on these Jordan 3s real quick. Gotta have your true blue. True blue gotta be in there. I'm talking a lot about red, but you know, OG Sneakerheadz, when they made the blue ones, we was all over them. We had to have blue because we was wearing so much red. I remember when Karim Hardison, Different World, shout out to him. Before Will Smith, Karim Hardison was our, like I said, your Will Smith, what we seen in the 90s with Fresh Prince and everything like that. When he was rocking the Jordan 2s in school days, when he was rocking the Jordan 3s on Different World, then he even went to 4. He always had the Jordans on. Karim Hardison, shout out to him. I think my kids watch him on a show on the Disney Channel now. Cannot believe that. What show is it, baby?
KC Undercover.
KC Undercover. Karim Hardison. I just happened to see him on there. But Jordan 3s, gotta have my true blues. Had that shoe. Then this is one I picked up actually on a real good website. I can't remember the name of it. This was actually a female. This was a woman's Jordan 3. A lot of people didn't jump on that one, but you can see it's got the crack in because I wear my kicks. You know what I'm saying? This was a nice leather. I think I even had, matter of fact, I got this shoe to match it with my daughters for Easter. We'll try to put that picture into the video. Had the whole Jordan outfit matching my daughter's Easter dress, that blue. Real beautiful picture, one that will always stand out to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had to go into this one. Another classic. Yeah, it's another classic. This was considered back when my day. I keep saying my day because I'm an older, 40-year-old gentleman this year. Just had a birthday last month. Taurus the Bull. Check that out. This is, back in my day, we just called it the white Jordan. This one was the black Jordan. Because Mike would always, for the most part, he would start the season in the white, go to the black, and then black would be around playoff times. That's how he had the black 4s on for the shot on ELO. That was early on in the Jordan days. So we got the white one here. Let me move this out the way. These videos be long. This is another Jordan 3 that sat around and a lot of people didn't dig it. A lot of people didn't really like this one that much, but I thought it was dope. I got it the day it came out. I think they called them Cyber 3s, Cyber Monday 3s. I put this one on with some black shorts at in summertime. These was a head turner. People was looking, breaking their necks, and I'm like, that shoe set on shelves. It just depends on what you rock with it. Because I got plenty of comments on a shoe that was set on shelves for a long time just from the outfit I was wearing. But just to go into my story and things that I've been through, this Jordan 3 cement was my first Jordan. I think you heard me speak on it on our first episode. But my pops got my brother the white one, and my godfather purchased me the black one. With me being the youngest, it went that way early on, and back in 88 when these first dropped. Just always been one of my favorites. For them to drop it with the Nike Air on the back was a plus. You just can't go wrong with this shoe. Everybody loves this shoe. The 3 cement here is just a classic. Yeah, man, just being a Chicago kid and a Cincinnati man, just always having that Midwest feel, being a Midwest kid, just always having that Chicago red, black and white. Anything we wore in Cincinnati Reds, red, black and white was just always what we did, and always went perfect with your Jordans. Any kind of style you wanted to flip with it. If you wanted to find you a Cubs hat, because I'm also a Cubs fan, being here in Cincinnati, you got the UC Bearcats, red, black and white. You know what I mean? Anything you put with a Jordan, plenty of red to go with your Ohio State. You know what I mean? So that's just what we always did. Thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to make this one a 3-part series on my Jordans. Like I said, it's 131 shoes in this room. We would be here all day if I sat down and just showed and talked to you and gave you a story on each and every one of them. So each episode like this, you're going to get more about me, my personal life, and me and things that where I come from and how I became a sneakerhead. Just by me telling you about my shoes, I can give you stories on me and how me and my wife met, shoes that she bought me for gifts, my shoes I've bought for me and my 4 beautiful daughters, being a husband for 14 years, a 40-year-old man, still having a passion and collecting Jordans. It's just me. It's just part of me. So we'll be getting into more of that on our upcoming episodes. But on our next episode, we're going to have the owner, Brock, a good friend of mine, Brock, who's the owner of Soul Revival in Springdale, Ohio. It's a buy, sell, and trade store in Springdale, Ohio, right across from Tri-County Mall. We're going to do a full interview with him at his store. Please tune in. I believe he just opened another store over across the bridge in Kentucky, right here across from Cincinnati. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode. It's been a pleasure giving you some of my shoes. We'll come back with the rest of them. Remember, free sneakers tomorrow. Please like, comment, subscribe. Everyday Sneakerheads. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode. We'll see you again next week.